May I come in, sir?
Absolutely. Take a seat. My name is Nick.
Vihan.
I'll be your IELTS assessor today. Make yourself comfortable. Can I see your ID, please?
Yeah, here is the passport which I have used for my registration in IELTS.
Thank you. And what is your candidate number?
My candidate number is 164260.
Thank you. So Vihan, tell me a bit about yourself.
My name is Vihan and I have recently completed my graduation in journalism and mass communication. Now I am planning to study abroad for the course of international relations and media. I am working as a freelancer in writing articles and photography, and I have worked with several media houses like Millennium Post, Dainik Bhaskar, etc.
Okay, let's talk about your hometown and village. What kind of a place is it?
My hometown is Jaipur. It is a heritage site and it is the capital city of Rajasthan.
See, and what's the most interesting part of your hometown?
The most interesting part of my hometown is the diverse food it has and a lot of heritage places like forts and the architecture which we can see here.
What kind of jobs do people do in your hometown?
In my hometown, people generally do several kind of jobs, like they work with corporates, they do social work, and also they work in tourism department such as guides, and also there are many universities here where they work as professors.
Would you say Jaipur is a good place to live?
Yes, Jaipur is a good place to live, especially when you want to live near a culture or a traditional place.
Let's talk about you as a person. Would you describe yourself as a patient person?
Yes, I do describe myself as a patient person because several times my work need patience whenever I am writing something or whenever I am taking a photograph, and other works which I do, for example reading, they all need patience, and doing these things taught me how to be patient.
Okay. Do you ever get impatient?
Sometimes I do get impatient because I think impatience is a human tendency to express your insecurity or the discomfort you are having.
Right, that's an interesting answer. When was the last time you lost your patience?
The last time when I lost the patience was when I was playing with my dogs. One of them scratched me on the knee and it was very painful. So I lost my patience and I went inside my room and I scolded them. So they got very upset.
I see. And which person in your family is the most patient?
I think in my family, I'm the most patient person because sometimes they all lose temper, but I think I control my emotions pretty well.
Let's talk about music. Do you like music?
Yes, I do like music. I think it is the best medicine for healing you emotionally.
Okay, and what is your favorite type of music?
It depends on my mood, what I want to listen. Sometimes whenever I'm feeling low, I listen to some meditation music, and whenever I'm feeling energetic or whenever I'm doing something, I listen to some energetic music.
Okay, if you could learn a musical instrument, what instrument would that be?
The instrument which I would like to learn is flute because I think flute is the most melodious musical instrument. It just takes your breath and it converts it into a melodious tone which feels very soothing to hear.
Okay, let's talk about your daily life. What is your daily routine?
My daily routine is very dynamic because I am not a working professional. I am a student who explore different things. But generally I do things like playing with my dogs, playing sports, learning several things like flute and reading. Reading is the thing which takes most of my time.
And would you say that your routine is the same now as it was when you were a child?
No, my routine is not same as it was when I was a child, because now I've started reading so many books and started involving myself into so many activities like social work and playing sports and all the things. When I was a child, I used to do different things, but now I am involved in different things.
Thank you, Vihan. That concludes the end of part 1. We're now going to move on to part 2, where I'll give you a topic that I'd like you to talk about for 2 minutes at which time I will stop you if you do go up to 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare a short talk on the following topic. Here is your cue card, and here is some paper to prepare with.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but can you please give me some other topic because I can't think of any idea regarding this one.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, I have another topic for you here. This is a topic, describe a memorable education experience you had. Does that sound like something you could talk about?
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. I'll start the minute again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your minute over. I'm now going to give you 2 minutes to talk, starting now.
So first of all, thank you for giving me this topic as I'm more comfortable to discuss this. The educational experience which I can think of here is the seminar organized by Google in Pink City Press Club. It covered many technical things about mass communication, and it was conducted by many prominent authorities related to Google. They all were very clear and lucid in their ideas, and all the people who attended that seminar, they got to learn and they got to understand several things from them related to technical aspects of Google, related to its social interpretations, and also other things which are working inside it. For example, the futuristic innovations which Google is working on, and the social issues which we are facing right now. For example, the environmental damage, climate change, gender issues, and all the things. The thing which I like the most about that seminar, which makes it memorable for me, is that it was very inclusive towards different topics. It covered all the aspects from technical to social. And the another thing which I liked about that seminar is the representation of different communities. For example, I remember there was a person from queer community as well who was mentioning their issues. There was a woman who addressed their issues, and Google inclusively conducted that workshop and concluded several things related to several diverse topics. So another thing which made it memorable for me was that one of my teachers from my university.
Thank you, that's your 2 minutes. Well done. Let's move on to part 3, where I'll ask you some more questions about the subject of education. What makes a good student?
I think the most important factor which makes you a good student is the curiosity inside you, because a student should always have a tendency to learn something. Nobody can force you to learn anything, because something which is forcefully learned is never useful.
And what role should a teacher have in the classroom?
The role of a teacher inside the classroom is basically related to two things. First is the curiosity. A teacher should always make their students curious about several things. For example, the doubts which they raise, and how they explore several things. And the second thing is the interpretation of their students' ideas, how they mold their flourishing ideas and how they give them directions.
Do you think that computers might one day replace teachers in the classroom?
I don't think computers can ever replace teachers inside a classroom, because the role of a teacher is not just to educate children or students. The role of a teacher is more importantly to understand how to educate them, what to teach them, and how to teach them. And that's where a human brain gets an edge over a computer.
How has teaching changed in your country in the last few decades?
In the last few decades, our education system has gone through so many innovations. For example, more technical aspects are being covered nowadays in Indian education system. Schools are being more into private sector. Earlier, most of the people used to study in public schools, but now due to technical advancements in private sector and the corporate world, more people are getting inclined towards the private sector.
What is the difference between the way children learn and the way adults learn?
So the way a child learns something and an adult learns something is not much different, because they all learn from curiosity and the doubts which they have. But I think the main difference is from their mindsets, because an adult's brain is very rigid. They feel hard to accept and to unlearn the things which they have already learned or which they have in their minds. Whereas a child's mind is very flexible. They can adapt several things and they can interpret it with the help of adults and the teachers.
And finally, how can a teacher make education more interesting for their students?
A teacher can make education more interesting for their students by making them involved in several activities and real life case studies. For example, teachers should encourage students for more co-curricular activities and also should encourage them to read several kind of books. For example, storybooks or even fantasies. This will help students to make an understanding of how to understand and how to learn things. They will be indulged in the fairy tales. Even the fantasy stories teach you how to learn things, and that's, I think, what teachers should do. They should not just teach them what to learn, they should teach them how to learn it.
Thank you, Vihan. That concludes your speaking test for today, and I will let you know your results within the next 5 to 6 days.
Okay.